now if I could do this the way I would normally do it, but I don't have a red helmet. And as I said, I'm not a fan of color. But I would put the red helmet on his head, hit his arm, and take the helmet off his head and hit his arm, and he'll be on his knees. Right? So, but it's a very visual thing. But that's why I always wore black. I'm still wearing black. Right? That's why I always wear black. For one, it's a healing color for water. Therefore, my water is very powerful. Right? So when I attack fire or I attack any of the other elements, my water is very powerful. And then I have enough red, and red is also the healing color for fire. It's a double color. I have enough red, and white is metal. I have enough of that there that I can use it if I chose to, but I typically don't choose to. Now, the next one, we can jump to a higher principle. Now, we're only doing two. Right? We can jump to a higher principle, which is quadrant theory. In the quadrant theory, I divide him in half this way, I divide him in half this way, and I divide him in half this way. And this is allergic to that. So as I come in here and I go to strike that, I'm going to be aiming my strike to that foot. Okay? And you can see how much travel I get on that arm. Right? Phenomenal amount of travel. Thank you, sir. Okay? Now, I'm going to put three together. I'm going to use her for finger locks because your hands are too small for finger locks. Hers isn't too bad. And I don't want to use Master Phil at the moment. And I call him that because it bugs me. It's because I'm evil inside. Right?
You calling me out so I'm okay with.
Oh, darn. I'll have to stop now. But we're going to put three principles together here. And finger locks, people quite often don't really realize the fact that grappling stacks principles easier than dealing with somebody who's striking. Because when I come in, if I drop into a horse stance for superior body mechanics, not for the stances sake, because stances have effect too. We're going to do stances now. But if I drop into that superior body mechanic and then add sound to it, you're not going to use the arm afterwards, right? You're going to be attacking me with something else because that arm's not. You're not going to feel your hand anymore, right? If you're tense. But as an example, if I have fingers, so I take these two fingers. Now I have once again fire and metal. I got a cycle of destruction there, right? And the way I do a finger lock is I turn the three fire fingers into a staircase. And then the metal finger just goes on the outside. That creates better body mechanics because it's a smaller point of contact. So when I do this now, you feel it. Yeah. But if I add the stance into it, you really feel it. Yeah. Okay? And if I add the stance to it and I go C, wow. Completely different result. And the thing is you could do that. You just never thought of it. So you train that. Now the beautiful thing about sound is you don't have to say the sound. Right? All you have to do is think the sound. Because something really cool happens that never gets talked about. If you're reading a book, now there are people that read the book and they move their lips, which is okay. Right? People make fun of people who do that. I don't say anything wrong with it. I don't do it. But when you read the book, your vocal cords are resonating. They're vibrating just as if you were talking. There is no difference, but you're not passing air through them, so there's no sound. And it's the frequency that matters. Excuse me, it's not the sound, it's the frequency of the sound. So we'll do it in the head. I never said anything. In fact, your knuckle cracked. Right? Now, this stance is a fire stance, and this is the fire finger that it matches. Long stance, long finger. Okay? And a proper finger grip, a proper finger lock at this time would be with this finger would be crosshand because I can't do it this way. I got nothing to grab. Right? Okay. I need the thumb. This is what saves me in the finger lock is the thumb. But if I'm going to do this side, right, I have a different stance, which is called a neutral bow, which is this way. This is the fire stance for heart and small intestine, which is this finger. Here, you can feel that's different. But if I do this, No, not quite so bad.
No.
It still hurts because it's this finger, right? So that's putting those together. You okay?
Yep.
We'll add one, we'll do 4 at this point. This is how you learn them, is you play with them.